Yep, that line right there is for the 9 a.m. crowd. If you're watching this video, then you're probably already planning your visit to the Pantheon or curious about what the buzz has been all about. We don't usually do videos like these, but since we just got back from Rome and ran into this firsthand, I figured might as well share our experience. In this video, I will just quickly give you guys an update on what's going on with the Pantheon. I'll share what you should look out for, an update on the entrance situation, and useful tips to make your trip a little bit more efficient. First, what are the things to look out for inside the Pantheon? The first thing that you should know about is that it was originally built as a temple dedicated to all the Roman gods. The Pantheon has witnessed various transformations throughout its long history. It survived the test of time and remains an important symbol of Rome's ancient past and cultural heritage. Once you approach this building, once you see it from afar, you'll notice it's been influenced by so many things. So it's really important to know that. Once you walk in, the most obvious thing that you will see is the gigantic dome and the Oculus. The Pantheon's dome is not only impressive in scale, but it's a marvel of engineering and design. It was the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world until modern times. At the top of the dome is the Oculus, a circular opening that serves as the primary source of light, symbolizing the connection between the heavens and the structure. Speaking of heavens, they say that when it rains, the water doesn't come in through the Oculus. For some reason, it just evaporates. That just blew my mind. I don't know if you know how that works, but I would love to know. Since the Pantheon is an old church, you're going to have to look for the tomb of the kings. Just like any old church, the Pantheon functioned as a burial place for notable individuals. Inside you can find the tombs of Italian kings including Vittorio Emanuele II and Umberto I, adding a historical and regal touch to the site. You will also notice the main altar, which is still being used for religious services today. Admire the ornate chapel dedicated to Saint Joseph and the Virgin Mary, which adds a spiritual dimension to the Pantheon. Lastly, we didn't expect that the renowned Italian painter and architect Raphael was laid to rest in the Pantheon after his death in 1520. Now let's get to the updates. You will now have to buy tickets to enter the Pantheon. How did we know? Get Your Guide emailed us a day before our tour to warn us, thank goodness. As of Monday, July 3, an entrance fee has been introduced to access the Pantheon. Our tour was on July 4th. Previously, access was free, but now it's necessary to purchase a ticket at a cost of €5. How do you get in now? They separated entry into 4 lines. If you're facing the Pantheon, cash payment is on the very left. The one next to it is for the tours. Next is for people with time reservations. And the last one to the right are for people who are paying with the credit cards. How do I know this? I went in line to every single one and I was asking people, what line is this for? What line is this for? It's still not official, but it looks like that's how they divided the people. So if you paid €8 for the audio tour, that means your free entry ticket is no more. So you'll need to buy a ticket either through the website or in person before you enter. You can line up for this, but the line can be very long and slow. It should be far easier to buy online in advance. Most people like us weren't successful with the online purchase because the website was glitchy. This was a huge problem because for us, the people who bought the audio tour, we were denied entry because originally the entrance is included, right? Not anymore. Since you have to pay entry, you have to fall in line to pay, and they had us line up together with the people who are paying by card who still don't have entry tickets. That sucks because first of all, our ticket was timed at 9 a.m. and second, we had to fall in line with people who don't have tickets yet. So we fell in line for at least an hour. What did other people do? Some of them, they moved to the cash lane. And since there's not a lot of, because when you ask the guides who are there, the attendants, when we ask them, okay, I have an audio tour, they always point towards the credit card lane. But, common sense is you could also do cash, which is what other people did, and they were able to enter faster. We fell in line for an hour only to find out that they don't have enough audio devices for the audio tour, so we had to wait for the availability and had to fall in line again to retrieve our device. The other problem is that we had to stay in the original line and wait there because they didn't want the Pantheon to be filled with people who are just standing around. Like, what else do you do in a museum? Just stand around. Now for the tips. Just like what any great traveler would do, book your museum tickets early. It's either book your entry tickets and or with an audio guide. I would suggest book with a tour or at least an audio guide. It's small, so you'll probably spend more time falling in line than walking around inside. So having a guide will help not only with the time but also the information about the museum to make it an overall great experience. Check the calendar of events. Check if there's a mass going on or a celebration, etc. so you could plan around or you could plan accordingly. Timing. The Pantheon can get crowded, so consider visiting early in the morning or later in the afternoon to avoid large crowds and long queues. Weekdays obviously are generally less busy than weekends. Lastly, since it's a church, dress code. The Pantheon is a place of worship, so it's important to dress respectfully. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or a first-time visitor, we hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and tips to navigate the Pantheon's entry process with ease. Remember to check the latest information before you visit, take advantage of the online ticket options, and make the most of your time exploring this awe-inspiring monument. If you like this video and you're thinking of doing more traveling, you should consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks to people who bought us coffee, and if you want to see more travel video tips, you should watch this video. Bye.